What's going on, you guys? Slim here, finally back with a new video. And as I told you guys in the community tab, I asked you guys, did you guys want to see tier lists? Did you guys want to see top 5? Did you guys want it both? So I'm going to start with old tried and true when it comes to top 5s, because those are kind of what I'm better at for now. I've got to get more used to the tier list thing, but bear with me, it'll come in time. Yo, shout out to McDonald's. We got the most iconic ones on a whim. Like, I literally went there. My wife wanted them. She literally wanted one. They had Blue Eyes and Dark Magician. She wanted Hello Kitty, so we won. So definitely awesome. I'm sure people have the whole collection. I just wanted the most iconic ones. So I'm super happy to have them. But that aside, yeah, we're going to talk about what I think personally the top 5 meta decks are going to be for this format. Our ban list was crazy. You know, it had, I think someone said 29 changes, which is absolutely ridiculous. I don't remember the last time we had a ban list that had that many changes in a really long time. And it's just awesome to see, like, you know, what the format's going to be. Now, I've heard all the backlash. Snake Eyes is still going to do what Snake Eyes does. You know, Tenpai got kind of a slap on the wrist. Ubel slap on the wrist, like a lot of those things. But I also think it's going to be a pretty interesting format. Like I always say, you always have the option to play the format or not. So you choose to play or you choose to not, and you just adapt. Now, one thing I will say before I get into these top 5 decks, we're in a very weird time, and I say that because once Rage of the Abyss comes out, things change again. So I am going to factor this into this top 5 list to really see like where things go. So definitely bear that in mind. Smash that like button if you're new here. Also, if you enjoy the video, you guys know what to do. It's awesome to be back making content. I'm excited to play again. I've got so many decks and stuff like just ready to go. Like, it's actually crazy. And yo, shout out to Pokemon World. Shout out to my cousin for literally getting me this box. Like, yeah, I literally have my Yu-Gi-Oh deck in here. So yeah, Pokemon deck boxes go hard if you guys already know. But anyways, we'll get into it. So coming in now at number 5. Now again, these numbers, you can flip them any way you want. These are just based off things I've seen, based off things I've heard. Like, shout out to all the other content creators that are making, you know, top 5s and top 10s. I stick to top 5s. It's just easier for me. I felt like I had to put a shifter deck in there because shifter didn't get hit. I played shifter myself. I've been on the receiving end of shifter. We know how crazy that card is. They're not going to hit it because the Malice, deck building type is going to be coming out. It's a shifter deck. There's no way around it. They're going to keep it around. But I actually put Ritual Beast. Now, I put Ritual Beast because this deck, not only being a shifter deck, is pretty crazy. It made it to the finals of the European Championship against Tenpai. I think the deck is really crazy. I think if you don't know what the deck does, you're definitely going to be on the receiving end and probably lose more times than win. Ritual Beast is a deck that's been gone for so many years, and now it's back with the new support. The fact they can play shifter, the fact that they can literally just stun you out of the game is crazy. I had to have some type of shifter deck somewhere. You could say Flunderies, but honestly, Flunderies has been suffering and they lost Prosperity. Like, trust me, that is a huge hit to that deck. I've played Birds. I've literally played the Flu Goose Stew, and losing 2 Prosperity is actually nuts. In that deck, you wanted 3 Prosperity and 3 Duality. Now you only have 1 Prosperity, 3 Duality. You can play Extrav. I guess that's fine. I guess that's the next best alternative. But the ability to cipher through and look at 6 cards was absolutely crazy. Now if you just open it, you're lucky. But a shifter deck like that, I think, will definitely be something that, you know, will take Malice over like other decks of the format. Definitely be prepared for Ritual Beast and any other shifter decks, because I feel like if you're not prepared, you're definitely going to get caught with your pants down and you're gonna lose. Like, it's gonna happen. Like, trust me, in testing, I didn't know what Ritual Beast did. They shifted me, yeah, and you know, things just got worse from there. So I definitely had to put that deck in there. I think the deck, while I don't remember it as much, I remember it back in the day. Like, I remember back in the day when it was the first version of Ritual Beast, but now it's just all a whole new monster. So plus with indirect support of shifter, it's absolutely crazy. So I had to have that deck in there. Or you could, like I said, you could put it in another deck, another shifter deck or something that's like an anti-meta approach to the format. Next, I actually have Snake Eyes. Now here's the thing, most people are going to put this as still the best deck, but not right now. It's still definitely formidable. Like, shout out to my boy Super Insane 18, my boy Alex. He made this crazy video with like all the combos you can still do, what you end on, and that's before Rage of the Abyss. Now imagine when the Ethermana cards come out and you literally have that in conjunction with, you know, the Fiendsmith cards, with the Snake Eyes cards. Yeah, you got Poplar at 1. Yeah, you got Snake Eyes Ash at 1. decent hits. They didn't hit Flamebird, which I really think was the card they should have hit because they didn't do that. I think Snake Eyes is still going to be around. For now, I have them at that particular place. I definitely think they can go up as the format progresses. And remember, we're getting the next set, what is it, in like 2 months or something like that? I don't know the exact date, but basically things are going to change very quickly, and we're going to be in a format similar to the one we were in before, this previous one, where literally the deck is going to reign supreme, and it's going to be pretty crazy to see, unless they do another list before then, but I highly doubt it. But I have to put respect on Snake Eyes. The deck is still formidable until you deal with Flamebird, until you deal with any of the OSS package or the Bell Stars or any of that stuff. My deck is still going to find ways to play, so I have to have it in the top 5 for sure. And like I said, none of these decks, even, I could be completely wrong. Maybe Snake Eyes just still, before Rage of the Abyss, literally just reigns supreme. Like, it could still happen, so definitely don't count the deck out at all. If you think the deck's dead, you're completely wrong. The deck is still going to do well. The engine is still going to do wonders, and it's a fire deck, so it's still Year of the Fire no matter what. Next, shout out to my brother Johnny. I gotta have Runic variants, Runic Stun, Whitewoods Runic. Those seem to be like the only real ones, sadly. Like, there are so many things you can do with Runic, don't get me wrong. Like, you can do so many things. Like, Lightsworn Runic is super fun. It's just not that consistent. You can do like crazy things. Like, you could still try to do Bestial Runic, but you lost a lot of the good synchros, so you can't really put up Barone and do a lot of cool things like that. But you can still try decks like that. I think anything with Bestials is pretty crazy. But when it comes to Runic, I have to, of course, highlight Runic Stun. Lost 2 skill drains. It's easy to replace those 2 lost floodgates with 2 more floodgates and literally just go to town. Nothing else changed. The whole Runic engine is still there. All the floods are at 1. I call them the 4 horsemen, the skill drain, the rivalry, the Gozen, the Tigaboo. You still have the 4 horsemen of the TCG when it comes to stun cards, so I gotta put respect on it. Same thing. Be prepared for that deck. Have your Cosmic Cyclones. Like, just know that that deck is still going to be around. It's very budget to play. You don't need an SP Little Knight, even with the reprint on the horizon. You don't even need it for that deck. So just remember that that deck is super budget. A lot of players can get their hands on all the cards. There's been a ton of reprints, and it's literally just a deck that can get you by storm if you're not prepared for it. These days, I'd say players are more prepared for it than not, but definitely just pay attention to it, because Runic is Runic. Can still deck you out. It can still stall you out. It can literally just flood you out. And if you're not prepared, you're going to lose, and it's not going to be a fun time at all whatsoever. So just remember and take that into account. Now, the last two definitely are going to be the decks you're going to see the most this current format, and the next one is going to be Tenpai. I personally love Tenpai. OTK deck, it's pretty crazy. It's like the better Numeron deck. I played Numeron, for those that remember, years ago. Even played it in Master Duel, even queue it up every once in a while, because people just aren't prepared for it. Just a very quick like OTK deck that finishes the game super fast. That's what Tenpai does. Yeah, they lost 2 Field Spell. Yeah, they lost 2 Prosperity. You literally can replace those cards with hand traps. You can also, add a couple things in if you weren't playing Dora, if you want to add an extra Bestials, if you wanted to add in other, board breakers, you have the ability to do that. Cards like Thrust are really popular in that deck, Talents, etc. You're going second deck, you just want to be able to go second, break your opponent's board, OTK, and call it a day. Like, the deck is still going to do what the deck does. Look at the deck in the OCG. It's still, like, it literally reigns supreme. Now, granted, they do have Max C. We do have Malchummy, Perulia here, and we are getting the new Malchummy soon. You're also going to be getting, the Dominus Purge. It's Dominus something. It's one of those Dominus cards, the trap card that they've been playing in the OCG. So definitely in conjunction with that, I think Tenpai is in a very strong position. Trident Dragon reprint is on the horizon as well, so more players are going to have access to it. Definitely be prepared for Senpai. Be prepared for Tenpai, and definitely if your opponent says you can go first, be prepared that it's more than likely Tenpai, and you better set up a board that can actually deal with whatever they throw at you. So definitely Tenpai at number 2. And of course, number 1, I have Yubel. Like, shout out to Jaden and all the Yubel players. Yeah, this deck lost 2 of its main cards, but that's fine. Yeah, it lost Lacrima, but that's also fine. Like, the deck literally can pretty much do everything it's done before. It didn't lose any of the main engine. Deck is still crazy. Deck literally just throws Nightmare Pain down, and you just die to it because you're forced to attack. Like, it's absolutely crazy. I think the deck's in a very good situation. Yeah, it can't put Appaloosa up. That was like one of the major hits for like Snake Eyes and Yubel. Like, you can't put up Appaloosa, but you can put up other negates. You can put up, you know, just OTK your opponent just by them having monsters because of Nightmare Pain. And I think just the U-Bell deck in general is very, very well positioned. I also think it's extremely well positioned for Worlds this weekend, so definitely be on the lookout for that. It's weird. U-Bell and Tenpai are actually, like, right now in our current format and Worlds format are actually like some of the best calls, so just something to keep an eye on. But U-Bell I think is definitely the best deck currently. And it'll be interesting to see because Snake Eye and U-Bell were kind of like neck and neck. Snake Eye had, you know, the better player representation and had a little more success. It had more wins. But now that Snake Eyes has been semi-addressed, U-Bell has been able to, you know, just kind of rise above it in this current format. So I think it's going to definitely be interesting to see what happens going forward. But those are my top 5 decks. I'm sure there's other decks. You could definitely fill this list out to 10. I just wanted to keep it simple and keep it at 5. But let me know in the comment section down below, first and foremost, what you thought of the format of the video. Should I keep the format like this going forward? I wanted to simplify things compared to how I used to do them. You know, just setups are different. We're going to be experimenting with a lot of things, so expect to see a lot of different setups here and there, and we'll just find ones that work for the channel as we get back into it. But let me know your top 5 decks of this current format. Remember, Rage of Abyss is going to change things, so take this all for the current, you know, time before that releases, but things can definitely change, or things may stay the same. Maybe this list is accurate, but it'll be interesting to see what happens. But overall, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.